Greetings, Sunny here. Today I will clarify spine chiller horror film called King's Game. Spoilers ahead. Look out and fare thee well. King's Game is a secondary school story where every one of the understudies takes an interest in a some demise game. They should follow a request consistently, and assuming they don't, they will endure side effects more regrettable than passing. The story starts and we notice two understudies, Nobu and Shiami. They concentrate on together now and are old buddies since youth. One day they get a message that their entire class is picked for a Lord's Down. The guidelines of the class were that they need to play this game and nobody can leave in the middle. On regular routine, they'll get an assignment or request on their cell phone that they need to follow inside 24 hours. Whoever won't follow the request inside 24 hours will be rebuffed harshly. The main assignment was for role No. 8, that kid needs to propose the young lady who was his crush. The following day, Nobu and Shiami meet successor third companion. He lets them know that he has gotten a similar message. All things considered, the entire class gets the message. Now they power the kid to go to that young lady. Later on, he goes to his crush, yet she dismisses him. A while later, they all get the message that the request is finished. They think of it as a trick by their companion and don't treat it in a serious way. The subsequent request was for role No. 4 and the most famous young lady in the class. The following day, the screen asks them that who is tricking this all. She doesn't have any issue not to satisfy the request. She personally goes to that kid and satisfies the request, and again they get the directive for the finishing of the request. In the evening, they accept their third request. The following day the kid was eager to satisfy his request. In any case, he comes to realize that the young lady with whom he needs to finish his request didn't come. Around evening time, Hello get the message of the king that the young lady and the kid haven't followed their request along these lines, they'll be eradicated. We notice that from the image in the room of Shiami, both were eradicated from that. Presently they accept their fourth request. That two understudies need to live respectively for an entire to invest the energy. The following day, every one of them noticed the seed of those two understudies were eradicated who haven't followed the request. Alongside, the quantities of both were likewise erased from the mobiles of everybody. Indeed, even their record was deleted from the school. They were stunned. In the interim, the screen gets some information about that young lady from the instructor, and she responds to that there is no understudy of this name in class. After the class, they call to her folks. They reject that they have any little girl of this name. Presently they understand that this isn't a joke, however they are really deleted from the world. Indeed, even they weren't recollected by anybody aside from the members. Paying attention to this, both next members were apprehensive and they complete their errand to save their life. The fifth request was for an understudy who must be an ideal ruler for one day. He can order any request, and the following day he kills his companion. He arranges the second companion to kill him. Later on, his companion has a cardiovascular failure and he bites the dust before his instructors. After his passing, instructors begin to walk ordinarily as it didn't happen anything. Sooner or later, they get the message of consummation of the assignment. Later on, the seed of that kid vanishes. Presently, all figure that what they need to do straight away. Some of them propose answering to the police, yet nobody would trust their story. Nobu states to all that whoever is the Lord needs us to squabble. On the following request, they'll find an answer together. Presently not many of the understudies talk, and one of their companions lets them know that this game is a revile. The king messages us is among us. They realize nothing adjoin this. Now they accept their next request, the sixth request. In which contest a vote between two understudies will be, and whoever will get less votes will be killed. Whoever won't make a choice will kick the bucket as well. The following day Nobu recommends that there are 28 understudies. Assuming they cast a half vote to them, the match will be a tie. Likely nobody would bite the dust. Presently they all concur and do likewise. At the hour of counting, they notice that somebody has cheated. One understudy has an additional vote. Realizing this, the subsequent understudy, terrified that she gets less vote, and hops from the window. She passes on and they get a message that she has purposely gives her life along these lines. The assignment isn't finished. In her substitution, another young lady was doled out, and she without a moment's delay admit that she is a young lady who cast an additional 1 vote since she tries to avoid her. She leaves and they get a message that she has lied, so she will be rebuffed. She deletes that she becomes vanished. Presently, everybody considers Nobu liable for this on the grounds that rather than 1-2 lives kick the bucket. After school, Shiami meets her companion who tells her that these games have been played previously. There were a couple of episodes wherein the entire class was deleted. She shows an image in which she shows a kid looks like Nobu. She shows her more pictures and tells her from whatever the class understudies were missing, Nobu was there. Yet, Shiami doesn't accept this, says that she knows him since youth. She further tells her that likely ruler deletes the recollections and your recollections may be obviously false, that you know him since youth. Her companion speculates that Nobu is the king. They accept their 7th request, in which every one of the understudies need to place every one of the pencils into a crate and need to hold that, and whoever will hold in conclusion would kick the bucket. Presently, the last understudy left who sees 3 pencils in the case, and he thinks in the event that he holds 2 pencils and 1 would be left. Assuming Nobu holds that 1, he would bite the dust. He expresses that due to him currently 2 understudies passed on, now he'll do this to have a demonstration of vengeance on him. At the point when Nobu goes close to the container, he sees that his companion has as of now taken the 3 pencils. He disrupts the norm of the game and says that when her companion bounced, he was unable to do anything. In any case, he needs him to beat this game. He says this and he was eradicated. After the class, a young lady lets them know that she has tracked down an answer for kill them from this game. After their group, Nobu goes to Shiami's home and she shows an image of her mom's old neighborhood. In any case, the odd thing was that every one of the photos were unfilled, and later on, they get various messages. They realize that 17 understudies have disrupted the norms, and that is the reason they are deleting. Later on, Nobu calls his companion. He realizes that her companion proposes obstructing the quantity of Lord, assuming they won't get any message and they won't be in game any longer. They defy the guideline of the game in light of the fact that the main rule of the game was not to stop this game. That is the reason 17 understudies were deleted. Presently, there were just 8 understudies left, and they dole out their next task. The screen of their group needs to send a passing message to her 2 class colleagues to whom she will message would bite the dust. The following day, there were a couple of understudies in their group and their educator shows them and goes. Today one of the understudies hollers at her educator that every day their colleagues are deleting. Would you be able to see this? Be that as it may, the instructor thinks her evil and requests that Shiami take her to the attendant's office. She goes into the washroom and cuts her hand since it was her assignment to kill 2 of her mates. However, she doesn't need this. That is the reason she cuts her hand. Watching the blood, Shiami comes in, yet she was deleted. Watching this, Shiami swoons. Later on, they get a message that this assignment isn't finished. Along these lines, the assignment was given to Nobu. Nobu needs to kill 3 mates rather than 2. Presently, the colleagues of Nobu let him know that they know how to handle this game, yet they need to go to a town close by. Nobu goes with them and his cohorts let him know that numerous occurrences occurred in the past in which the entire class was deleted. The main occurrence occurred in a similar town. Around then there were no cell phones and the king sent requests through letters. Presently they are going to a similar town to gather proof. The companion of Shiami tells that the following request is given to Nobu. Assuming he was unable to kill his 3 cohorts, he will be killed. Presently the companion of Shiami lets her companion know that Nobu has gone to where the main king's game was played. She feels that they have taken him for another reason. Nobu observes many pictures and letters and his colleague hits him and he swoons. At the point when he awakens, his options were limited and the 3 colleagues were remaining before him. Since they have seen those photos in which the kid like Nobu was there, they believe that Nobu is the ruler. They will dominate the match to kill him. In reality, they come here to kill Nobu. Presently they know one thing more, that whoever was deletes in the game, nobody is familiar with them. Then, at that point, how would they all that every one of the understudies delete? This is likewise an intrigue of the Lord, that he needs them to think Nobu a ruler and they kill them. Later on, the companion of Nobu calls him, yet his colleagues cut the call and toss his telephone. Nobu's companion begins to accomplish something on the PCs close by. The 3 colleagues were going to kill Nobu. Unexpectedly, the 3 colleagues vanish and Nobu opens himself and goes to the call. He gets a message of finish of the undertaking. All things considered, his companion opens his id and send passing message to the 3 mates that is the reason they vanished and Nobu got away. Here Nobu discovers a few old pictures and becomes stunned in light of the fact that the assignment of Nobu was finished by his companion. Nobu would be rebuffed for cheating. His companion will be deleted. Nobu calls his companion and his companion deleted while calling. Later on, Nobu goes to Shiami's home, however she was not at her home. Shiami's companion lets him know that she knows since the revile isn't any other individual, however on King Lord at whatever point goes into a class and another demise game beginnings there and he needs to endure. Shiami gets the call of Nobu who calls her in the study hall. Presently the companion of Shiami was eradicated with no missteps since she knows the truth of the Lord. Nobu presumably addresses the puzzle of this game. Presently he lets Shiami know that this game was first played in a school where every one of the understudies were eradicated aside from a young lady, and Nobu shows an old picture to Shiami. In that image, Shiami was there who was the victor of the king's game. Subsequent to dominating the match she would have been the following ruler. She rejects and she was given a revile that she will be caught in a demise game perpetually and her age won't develop. After each success her memory will be deleted. Nobu says that he will end this game here. Along these lines, no other person needs to play this game. Nobu pursues Shiami to kill her. Prior to killing he asks was the cherished recollections were phony. Shiami pulls him and holds his scissors and kills him. Presently the recollections of Nobu eradicate totally.